Yeah, that's
how do you feel about Haile Selassie?
Okay.
That's
Haile Selassie is not the 225th descendant of Solomon, contrary to Rastafarian doctrine.
Can I say one thing? But do you know that you know that Solomon had a son named Menelik, right?
With the Queen of Sheba?
Yes, from Ethiopia.
No.
That's a fact.
No, it's not.
Fact.
No, it's not.
Haile Selassie sits on his throne.
Can you prove it through the Bible?
Of course.
Where?
Gosh, I can't.
You know why?
No.
Because it's not in there.
Salamta, Tena Yistiling. No worries, sister. I will deal with the I. Seen? We will prove this in the Bible. We have 1 Kings chapter 10 right here. Alright? And this is verse 13. Alright? And we're going to break down his royal bounty, the yard, right? So don't worry, sister. I will prove it for the eye. So continue.
First Kings 10 in there. You're not going to find it because it's not in there. Hold on, I'm going to show you what happened with Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Hold on, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what happened with Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Read.
Blessed be the Lord thy power, which delighted in thee to set thee on the throne of Israel. Because
matter of fact, say something for me. Let me find it.
Actually, I read the entire 10th chapter of 1 Kings deals with what went on between Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. There is nothing.
They did not have a child together.
No, they did not.
Right.
I've read the entire chapter. There's nothing there about them having a child together.
This is laughable, brethren. You didn't read this. You didn't read this. Solomon, who had so many children, didn't breed up Sheba, the righteous queen of the south. We'll deal with this. Don't worry. Because I love the brethren, them. You know who you are. But moving forward.
Yeah, that's what I want. Start at 9. Yeah, start at 9. Yeah, 1 Kings the 10th chapter, verses 1. Hold on, brother. Order. Right, you want to teach? Join the camp. Right now, the verse 9 in 1 Kings, verses 1 through 8 tells you what happened, the meeting between Queen of Sheba and Solomon. Now we're going to get to the point 9 on down. Go ahead.
Blessed be the Lord thy power, which delighted in thee to set thee on the throne of Israel.
So now the Queen of Sheba is, paying homage to Solomon. She's like, blessed be the Lord God of Israel that put you on the throne. Go ahead.
Because the Lord loved Israel forever.
See that? The Lord loved Israel, his people, the Israelites, forever. Go ahead.
Therefore he made thee king to do judgment and justice.
Come on.
And she gave the king 120 talents of gold.
She gave gifts to Solomon, 120 talents of gold. Read.
And of spices very great store.
Come on.
And precious stones. There came no more such abundance of spices as these, which the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon.
Come on.
And the navy also of Hiram, that brought gold from Ophir, brought in from Ophir great plenty almond trees and precious stones.
Jump down to 13.
And King Solomon gave unto the Queen of Sheba all her desire.
Right, so now that's what they take and twist around.
Chafetz, right? Chafetz. Chafetz. Right, which means delight, pleasure, desire, longing, the good pleasure, that in which one takes delight. Right? So, pleasure, right? It's the same word for pleasure. All right, desire and pleasure is the same thing. All right, we use the same word, the same Hebrew root for this. All right, from a Hebrew mentality. All right, so this is not what they twisted and turned, because we don't have to use this to prove that they had a child. All right, so we'll continue, because the Keber Neges proves that they have a child. People don't play about this and lie for thousands of years about something, all right? So, continue.
He gave her all her desire. Go ahead.
Whatsoever she asked,
Go ahead.
beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty.
Come on.
So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants.
That's it. That's all that happened.
Whoa. All right, you know what? Before I even debunk all of that regarding Solomon and Queen Sheba having a child, before I debunk what was just said, look on the screen real quick. As you can see, I'm going to read Matthew chapter 12, verse 42. All right? And This is for the Hebrew Israelites that got that KJV Bible in their hand. You know, open up your scriptures and go to Matthew 12:42, and let's read this together. All right, it says here, the queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, for she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and behold, a greater than Solomon is here. All right, who is the queen of the south? Let's cover this now. So we're gonna go back to that verse that the brother was the brothers, you know, the Hebrew brothers was just dealing with. All right, which is First Kings, right? I'm gonna type it right here in the blue letter Bible, because you know they love to get caught up in the English thing, and they never go into the etymology and the root words of what they're saying. So what we're gonna do is expose the etymology of this exact verse in this chapter. All right, so we're gonna go to First Kings chapter 10, where Queen Sheba met Solomon. All right, now as you've seen in the video prior to this, all right, the brother skipped over this real quick. All right, and as you hear, I'm gonna play it back so you guys can hear it.
He gave her all her desire. Go ahead.
Whatsoever she asked,
Go ahead.
beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty.
Come on.
So she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants.
That's it. That's
Can I
all
ask
that
you a question?
happened.
All right, but as it says here, look on the screen, people. I'm gonna show it to you. All right, I'm gonna show you the English, and then I'm gonna go into the etymology, and we're gonna go into the Hebrew root. Okay, this was the verse that the brother was trying to expound on, and it says, all right, in 13, and King Solomon gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire, and the brother went to go on and say, well, there goes the confusion, because it says that King Solomon gave her all of her desire. That's not it right there. Just because Solomon gave her all of her desire and he didn't give none of the rest of the woman disrespect, you see, he regarded her with a lot of respect. Let's get that first out of the way. Second thing, Queen Sheba didn't come to Jerusalem to look for Solomon. She didn't come seeking for Solomon. All right, she didn't hear specifically about Solomon. What she heard about was who Solomon was worshiping, and who Solomon was had his allegiance to, and whose will was he submitted to. That's who Sheba was seeking out, Yahweh Eloheinu. Right, so let me go ahead and read this again. And King Solomon gave unto the queen of Sheba all her desire, all right, whatsoever she asked. All right, whatever she asked, King Solomon said, here. All right, now read this carefully. It says beside, which means other than. All right, beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty. So, you know, what the scribes is saying here is he gave her everything that she asked for, and we're not even talking about, you know, his royal bounty. He gave her his royal bounty, but that's something we shouldn't even have to debate about or argue about. All right, because he gave her all her desires. All right, and when it says all her desires, it's not talking about sex. It's not talking about a baby or anything of that nature. It's talking about, in general terms, whatever she asked, Solomon gave it to her. Period. All right, period. That's the context of that, what they're talking of. Now, beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty, so she turned and went to her own country, she and her servants. Now, what does it mean by beside that which Solomon gave of his royal bounty? Well, let's open it up. And I'm pretty sure the Hebrews, that they're scared of this. I'm going to read it in the Hebrew. Melech, Shalomon, Nathan, Malaka, Sheba, Shephet, Shahal, Shalomon, Nathan, Malak, Yad, Hana, Yalak, Erex, Ebed. Alright? Now it says here, beside that which Solomon gave Nathan her of his royal Melech, right? Royal Melech bounty. Hebrew 3027 Yad, which is Hebrew for hand. All right. So I'm gonna open this side by side because I don't want people to get confused in what we're trying to show you. And I want to give thanks to my brother, my Wendem, Ras, Mikael, Ra'a, Selassie for revealing this to the eye, and all I'm doing is sharpening that iron and expounding on this truth and testifying on this truth. So I'm gonna open this right here, right? And I'm gonna open H3027 in another window. Alright, and I'm gonna read this again with the context of the etymology of the word yad, the Hebrew word yad. Alright? Now, it says here, we're gonna use this as an example. Beside that which Solomon gave her of his royal bounty. Alright? Beside that of which Solomon gave of his royal hand, or his royal strength, right? Royal power, or his royal side, right? His royal sign or monument, all right? A royal part, fractional part, or share. A royal time, or a royal repetition, all right? Royal axles, royal stays and supports, royal tendons, or a royal phallus. This is very interesting, meaning unsure, all right? Now, this might be a Gentile interpretation or interpolation of the word yad as a phallus. Right? What is a phallus? Alright, we don't have to go into explanation of what a phallus is. Go into Egypt, you'll find out what a phallus is. Alright? Period. You go to Egypt, you'll know exactly what a phallus is. But what is it saying here? Does bounty mean his royal treasures? Because they translated the word yad, which is hand. So in which context are they speaking? Are they talking in the context of he gave Sheba everything she asked of him, besides that of his royal hand? Nah. Besides that of his royal genitalia, his royal seed. And I close with that, brothers. I'm not trying to put no brother down because I love all the brothers. All we doing is trying to bring the truth. Alright? Do not go off of something based on feelings and you have no research. If the KJV is the only thing that you are gonna root yourself to, and then you're gonna dive into the Torah and that's it. You know what I'm saying? We got the Hebrew, we got the Amharic Bible that we could cross-reference with this Gentile Hebrew and this English, right?
The Ethiopians have nothing to do with our people.
So what's Judah then?
Where's your father
What's Judah?
from?
What's the tribe of
Where's
Judah?
your father from?
My father is the creator. I don't have
your
one.
biological father.
He's from Ethiopia. He's from Ethiopia.
All right, do what you have.
He's from Addis Ababa. He's from Ethiopia. My father's Jamaican. My father's Ethiopian.
Him.
There you go.
Are you just saying that, or is your father really Ethiopian?
My father's Ethiopian. I speak Amharic.
Huh?
I speak Amharic.
Okay, Ham. Okay, read.
We highly Selassie authorized the scripture. One version of the 66 books and one version of the 81 books. Alright? Who are you going to ascribe to? Are you going to ascribe to King James of 1611 during the times when slavery just commenced? Or are you going to ascribe to 1962, right? From a country that was never conquered by the Gentiles. And the Romans always wanted to and never could until cameras were all over it. And we know the story of them trying to go into Ethiopia and steal all the artifacts and steal all the truths and to try to conceal this from I and I over here in the West. You see this, right? If you Hebrews don't have this and you don't study, what's your bias? What's your bias? Do you know that this is a Shemitic language? This is not Ham, like the brother said. This is not Ham, brother. The book of the 7 seals is not Ham. Get it right, brother. The book of the 7 seals is Shemitic. Alright? Even the Canaanites. The Canaanites didn't have a Hamitic Canaanite language. They spoke a Shemitic tongue. Alright? And language is key to culture. So I'm going to leave y'all brothers with that. And let me know what you feel. You know what I'm saying? I brought my evidence. The brothers in the video brought their evidence. And I'll let ones and ones iron it out. Alright? Shalom.